In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 3D model for our hollow constructed rings. On here, I've laid out my design, so I'm going to make a nice kind of square with a cutout area, and that will be my ring band that goes in there. And so this is a size 8, and then all the outside walls are 1.5 inches, so hitting that minimum requirement that we have. I'm going to make this out of copper, and I am probably going to color it with either powder coat or enamel, and that'll just be my own ring version. I also have the band size right up here, so it's a size 8 band. Like I said, I have that measured out so I can cut it out. And then I have the outside wall estimate. I added on a little extra just to make sure that I have room to go through all those bends. I'm going to do a score and bend on 2 of those corners and then lap joints on the other 2 corners. Alright, so let's begin. I'm going to use a scalpel, but you can use a razor blade, or you can also just use scissors. Alright, now I have 2 pieces in one go, so my outside walls. I'm going to cut out that circle. Now for the 3D model, I'm just going to cut out on the inside of the circle so I can see all the lines that I have drawn, as I'm going to use this as my blueprint. Now I have my 2 outside walls cut out along with where that ring band is going to go. I'm going to cut out the ring band, which is a size 8, and then the outside wall. These 2 are going to act like similar formations, so the same way that you're going to make the ring band, you're going to make the outside wall. All right. If you want to make sure that you have the correct size for your ring band, you can just carefully take that paper form, measure along there. Remember that it'll probably be a little bit bigger because we're accounting for the thickness and the gauge of the metal. So it should be about 1 or 2 millimeters over the actual size because the paper is a lot thicker or a lot thinner than the metal itself. Alright, so I'm going to take the trusted and true rubber cement, just paint one side, we're going to glue this together, paint the other side, let it dry as you normally would when you adhere the paper to the metal. Once you can see that it's dry, just take it a little bit past there. Alright, now we have that. So my ring band is a little bit larger than the circle that I cut, and that's fine. I wanted to make sure that I had room for gluing on the paper because the glue is the easiest. If you've ever tried to put masking tape on a 3D model, it can be really difficult in areas and then all of a sudden your whole model turns into just masking tape, which can be really ineffective if you need to take it apart for any reason. All right, there we have one side done. Now I'm going to measure this guy and I'm going to find, so it's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So at that point, I'm just going to do a little mark. I'll use my pen. And then at the 3-inch mark, I'm going to mark fully 1.5 inches, and then at the very end. So I'm marking this. I'm going to make sure that these are on the outside of my 3D form. That way I know where I'm going to have a lap joint and a second lap joint. These marks will be on the outside. This is where my lap joint is going to be, and then where my score and bend will be. So I know it seems silly that I'm doing it again, but that way I can actually make those marks on the inside. So I'm just going to score that carefully with my scalpel. Now I have a really nice tight corner because of it scoring it, and it hasn't sliced through the paper. I'm going to that bend again. And finally the last bend. Now one side I made a little bit longer, just like you would with a lap joint, and that way this can really stick to that glue. And I'm going to cut that to size. Once I get it, I really want to make sure that it's a nice right angle. Sometimes it can be really difficult, a little tedious to work with small fine paper. All right, so there we go. We have our little 3D model, and that's the ring that I'm going to create.